No, I was like, it's like the radio, but on demand. And they're like, whoa, that's cool.
So just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Hey, this is the Fort Wayne Lobster. When I need an Indiana Pacers basketball fix, I listen to the Undebeatables, yo.
Yo, this is Bench from Cincinnati. Whenever I need to pass out, I turn on the Undebeatables.
Okay, so will we play the...
Play the hype machine.
It's actually called podcast intro.
Okay.
All right.
Undebeatable. We are undebeatable. We are undebeatable. We are undebeatable.
Now he puts the ball on the floor, driving on James. He and he threw it down. That looked like Thor coming right down the middle of the lane with a thunder hammer.
Welcome, Pacer fans.
Welcome, Pacer fans.
What's up, Pacer fans?
Welcome, Pacer fans. You're listening to the Undebeatables, your weekly Pacer podcast.
Today's January 19th, 2013. This is episode 1 of the Undebeatables. It's a weekly talk show about your Indiana Pacers. Today is February 23rd, 2013. This is episode 6.
And this is episode 30, the big 3-0. Today is March 1st, 2014, and this is episode 50.
50! Shout out.
Shout out to episode 50.
50.
Welcome, Pacer fans. You're listening to the Undebeatable, your weekly Pacer podcast. It's a very special show coming to you live from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and season ticket holder. Joining me as always are three weekly analysts.
Cut that, Gaffrida.
Oh my God, they're all in the house.
You're screwed, brother.
We're coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Coming to you from what? San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio.
I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and season ticket holder.
Joining me as always are our 3 weekly analysts, coast to coast like buttered toast. First, from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
Pacer Nation, what's going on? It's a dreary day in the Capitol, but not going to hamper my sunny disposition about the Pacers. Hello, Pacer fans. Yep, more exhibition basketball to discuss. The show is the big 3-0, and I am now the big 3-5, I guess. So we're all getting older together.
Happy birthday.
And from Breckenridge, Colorado.
From Indianapolis, Indiana. He's our in-house bartender.
Mixing up the drinks and the crappy jingles. It's John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation?
Just real briefly, a little warning for everyone. Last week I was on Dayquil and had beer. That warning label is legit. I browned out for most of the episode. I think the most disturbing part of that, however, is that it was probably my best episode yet.
Coming from Seattle, Washington, out west, our enforcer, John Harper.
What's going on, fellas? I was going to give a shout out to Barack Obama for picking IU and his bracket, but instead I'm going to blame him for jinxing us if we don't win.
Fair enough.
I think blaming the president put us on some sort of watch list.
that probably just happened.
Thanks, Harper.
Now a lot of people are listening.
That's right.
We're going to get
Shout out
advertising dollars from the Republican Party. Though, so it's gonna be good.
Shout out to Homeland Security, who's listening in right now.
What's going on, Pacer fans? I'm going to try to hold it together this week, but be warned, I am in mourning. Dwight Freeney is not resigning with the Pacers this year, so.
I did not know that.
I'll try to keep the tears back.
Yeah, we knew he wasn't coming back to the Pacers, but
But he is a free agent, so
yeah, that's true.
Need a low post presence.
Kind of like
Off the bench.
Kind of like I still have my college eligibility. So, just so you guys know, I'm cracking a Wookiees Winter. It's a beer my brother made. I've had one before. It's pretty tasty.
Cheers.
What are you guys drinking on?
I am drinking on the champagne of beers, the Miller High Life.
Ooh, Miller High Life. Sexy.
Nice.
It's a Modelo morning for me, and I do mean morning.
Nice.
Well, first and foremost, we got to talk about what we're drinking.
Oh.
And it's late night, Labor Day weekend. I'm rocking the award-winning Pabst Blue Ribbon.
We got an early start. It's a beautiful, beautiful Easter morning. I'm starting out the day right with the Miller High Life.
Yay!
Nice.
Joey, you just made my week.
Seemed to be easy to please, my friend. JT, what are you drinking, imbibing?
I am in recovery mode from a karaoke-induced near coma. So I am drinking coffee out of my grandfather's mug, actually, that my sister has.
Nice.
It is not a normal hour at all, so I'm on some kind of energy drink called Golazo. And there may be some breakfast wine in my future. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
JT, what's going on the East Coast?
Well, it's past midnight here on the East Coast, so I think I'm officially drinking breakfast wine now.
Yes, sir.
This is the
Nicely done.
So I'm drinking Sierra Nevada's Ruthless Rye IPA. So it's like merging all of my favorite kinds of beer into one.
And ruthlessness.
And
You like
ruthlessness,
that?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a hell of a name.
Yeah. Well, it's my middle name, really. So.
Due to Indiana's progressive liquor laws, we had to scrounge up whatever Colson had at his house, which was the Moosehead.
Yes.
Which is Canadian, Harper, just in case you ask.
You mean it's from Maine?
Is it? Is it from Maine?
No, it's Canadian. It's
No.
Canada's oldest independent brewery.
Yeah.
I have kind of an unspoken green bottle rule. I don't normally like beers in green bottles. This breaks that rule. I do love the Moosehead.
So no Rolling Rock?
No Rolling Rock, no Heineken.
I also broke the unspoken rule. That was a twofer.
I'm on the doctor's orders this week, and I'm triple fisting.
I will note that I'm soon going to be quadruple fisting.
So I heard rumors of a 30-ounce beer. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I've got an Ninkasi Total Domination IPA, and we didn't go with the short bottle. So,
well, Page Nation, I was at the liquor store this morning in preparation for this podcast, and I thought about getting something different. I really did.
We're professionals. We're professionals.
I didn't read any articles, but I did spend a half an hour in the liquor store.
It's always sad when you're the first guy, like, peering in the window waiting for them to unlock the door.
Staring at your watch.
You're with, like, just a group of really sad people outside.
So I'm drinking the Immortal IPA this week, which is tasty to my palate.
Well, actually, one second.
Okay.
I have an intro for this.
Oh, you do?
So
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is our fast break breaks, because we're going to do little game breakdowns, and they're going to be fast. So let me do this. Here, hold on one second.
That is-
Yeah. Do you like that?
Wow.
I did. I'm a genius. All right,
Oh, yeah, go ahead whenever you want. That's the sound of the not all that fast break.
So it's a car not starting very fast.
No, I know what it is.
Well, you said it was
because you told me.
That's
the only reason we know.
I don't know if you could hear the popping in there. My roommate was making bacon when I entered. Some grease pops.
That's going to be on the quiz later. The Ultra fans will know this.
Yeah. We've taken you behind the curtain here.
Right.
It needs a little explanation. One of my favorite quotes from ex-coach Isaiah Thomas was that the secret to a good fast break is that it's not all that fast. So this is the not all that fast break, thanks to Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Right.
So a couple comments. First, I don't know if it was the way that the Skype is recording things, but I felt like I was in a bar playing trivia, and it was Guess That Noise. And then secondly, I think that sentiment of that Isaiah Thomas was trying to express was said maybe 1,000 times more eloquently by John Wooden when he said, be quick, but don't hurry. That's
very nice.
It doesn't play on the pun of your fast break. So
I knew that Isaiah wasn't as eloquent as John Wooden. It's shocking.
Yeah.
It is shocking.
Shocking.
I did. I lost so much money on that bet because I thought.
Yeah, so that was a car having trouble getting started. That's what that was.
I
That was
swear
your
to
guess your
God,
noise.
I really thought that was a broken toilet. There were 4 games this week, so 5 games this week, 3 games this week. So the first one, Saturday, April 6th, at Washington, D.C. Undebeatable's analyst, JT, had prime seats for the Pacers' visit, and Indiana was apparently unavailable for the game. The Pacers' showing was so bad in the 85-104 loss that the doctor tweeted afterwards, "I want my $10 back."
Another game, another stifling defense performance from the good guys.
The win completed Indiana's sweep of a 4-game Western road trip for the first time in 9 years. All 5 Pacers starters scored in double figures, highlighted by Hibbert and Paul George, who ended with 23 points and 10 assists.
The win moved Indy to 13-1, the best start in franchise history. The Indiana Pacers were at home with a chance to close out the series against the Knicks, and close out they did in thrilling fashion, 106-99. The Pacers found themselves down 2 with 5 minutes to play, but Roy Hibbert had the block on Carmelo at the rim, and it spurred a 11-2 run that clinched the game.
I thought the other great line from this, or story from this game, was the return of Lance Stevenson back to form, because he looked like the old Lance Stevenson, attacking the basket without abandon, or with abandon. How does that phrase go?
Like a crazy person.
Exactly.
You can't outplay Vitor Favorani, you will be fired.
Steve Nash cannot defend his way out of a paper bag.
No, he certainly can't.
Skull is broken, man.
Yeah, our shiny new toy might be broken.
Well, I will tell you this. I will say this,
This is why
though.
we can't have nice things, Joey.
My unofficial stat of the week is that we went 1 of 51 from 3 feet now. I'm pretty sure that's spot on. Don't bother fact checking. It's just true.
He had a tough matchup that night.
Yeah. I mean, Pero Antic, who looks like the Russian guy from Street Fighter 2. That's what I kept thinking of the whole time.
Zangief, right?
Zangief, there you go.
Very nice.
Antic apparently has 3-point range, which is just bananas.
Yeah.
So he's a rookie from Macedonia. And I will forever remember this game as the Macedonian Massacre. Pero, land of Antiquity. That didn't quite work.
You should have stopped at the first one was good. You should have stopped where you were at.
Pacers are on a bit of a slide.
Whee! I love slides.
Teltokovic.
Teletovic.
Is that what that says? Is that what that says?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Teletovic. Teltokovic is better, I think. I've never heard of this guy. Big ass white dude.
You guys were right. Harper, I think you said Brooke Lopez was going to tear up Roy Hibbert, and I believe that did happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was right about that one. That sucked. My first successful prediction was not happy.
Also, I'm not sure that Brooke Lopez has his emotion chip installed correctly. He's just a robot out there. Kevin Durant is the best basketball.
Hello, my name is Kevin Durant. I am a very good basketball.
The Pacers' free throw defense was phenomenal. They held the Pistons to under 57% from the line. Which, it's just a testament, I think, to the fans and to, I think, maybe the force that they were using.
And also a great improvement from the previous game because the Knicks went to the line 36 times, and I think they hit 78%. So clearly that was a point of emphasis going into this.
Yeah, no, I think that's a testament to Vogel's coaching. I mean,
Maybe that's Dan Burke expertise. I don't know who's in charge of that, but whoever.
I think that's G2 Zone and Area 55. Those guys had a players only meeting, a fans only meeting, and decided to step it up for free throws.
Shout out to those guys once again. I love them.
Yes.
Unrelated, did you guys ever see the article in The Onion about how the Lakers held a Kobe-only meeting?
No, that's great.
I want to give my reprimand, a wag of my finger to Josh Smith. Stop shooting three-pointers, dude. You're not a three-point shooter.
Dude, he's jacked up. Is he leading the league right now?
So going into that game against the Pacers, he was shooting 7 3-pointers a game, and he's a career 25% three-point shooter.
Actually, a fun note about the Republic of Macedonia. It was brought into the United Nations in 1990, 3-ball in Roy Hibbert's eye.
This game, my fun fact is I actually fell asleep watching this game twice. And I mean, on 2 separate occasions, I started the game over and I fell asleep before halftime.
Well, it was a barn burner.
I'm going to start doing my podcast in Spanish.
Great.
Yo soy Pacers.
It's better than me doing the podcast in sign language, because then nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah. Or in my case, it's better than doing it in English.
My favorite event that they have ever done during the timeouts was a baby race. So they had 5 little babies, and they were like, the parent would drop them, and then they're supposed to crawl to their other parent, which is, like, from the free throw line to half court. So it's like freaking forever for these babies. They probably can't even see their mothers. And so all of them none of them move. So they all just sit there. They've got this music going, and the guy's like, cheer them on. Of course, we get babies crying, and all that stuff, and nobody's leaving. And eventually one of these kids just starts crawling and crawls the whole way. There was no race. It was only one kid that did it.
So one baby race.
One baby race, and it was amazing. And I was like, we have to do this every week, but you can't do it all the time because kids are usually asleep when the Pacers play. So I'm asking the NBA for more afternoon games next year so that we can do more baby races.
That's going to be your favorite sport in 2015, eclipsing basketball altogether.
It was pretty amazing.
Well, that's some solid analysis there, Mr. Coleman. I'm glad we sent you to the game.
That's what I'm here for, guys.
About what it means to be playoff intense, because the Heat brought it and we didn't. And if you want to play with elite teams, you're going to have to find that other gear. That night we didn't.
I think it was definitely a measuring stick for our team. And obviously, the way Miami's playing now, they're currently on a 21-game win streak, so there's not a lot of teams that are even in their stratosphere, but we're clearly inferior to them. And if we want to contend for a title, we got to get better, basically. Which is probably a good lesson to learn now, right? As opposed to
game 1 of the playoffs,
game 4 or 5, whenever we're playing the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Was that the game where Chris Denari went out at a commercial break and did the bowling thing?
Yes.
Where they slingshot him and everything. It was awesome. He gets back to the booth and he's out of breath for a half a quarter, basically. And Quinn is just laughing at him the whole time. So
making fun of him.
Not even talking about the game for the half of the second quarter.
I got to watch that, and you could see on the Jumbotron, they did it in slow motion, after, and he was clearly rattled. There was a big pad behind there, but he smoked that pole.
Unfortunate choice of words.
I think it was really fortunate.
I had to ignore 66 text messages between 3 of you guys and Charlie, I think, was in there too.
What's wild about that is I sent none because I got home. I left my phone at home over lunch, and obviously I'm on West Coast time. I also had 70 text messages by the time I got home.
Yeah, it was me, Colson, and Elsa.
Yeah, that was good, and Clark, and the beekeeper as well. That was going to be my unofficial stat of the week, Joey, but it's totally official. I had friggin' 70. I have to change my Verizon plan now, thanks to that.
Pacers playoffs, baby.
Playoff time.
Altering lives.
I'm not mad at it at all.
Do they have like a Pacer playoff package from Verizon?
Exactly. Can I get it for the months of May and June?
Yeah.
Just expand my text message.
Right. It's like nights and weekends, but it's like during Pacer game, texts free.
It's all free.
Yeah. And I just want to step back and say how proud I am of these guys and how impressive it is that a team that's this young and this inexperienced in the playoffs, we talked about wanting to get seasoning this year because that's sort of the thing that we're lacking. And somehow these guys have no fear and are responding to moments like a team, 5 years beyond their experience level, which is just incredible.
They said the hell was season, right?
Yeah. No,
they were like pre-seasoned.
Preseason. We're going to a Game 7 against a really, really good team. And our best player is 23. None of these guys have been on the stage before. This is a great team and a great time to be a fan.
4 or 5,
Non-committal there, Joe.
Not even on the number of games, huh?
I'd say anywhere between 4 and 7.
He's waffling.
Waffles.
This is a little Coulson James White redemption. I would have a drop for it, but I'm just too angry, basically. So James White was a Pacer. He, in fact, did have a cup of coffee with the Pacers.
And I really want to hire Brian Shaw to help me out. So if I have a bad day in the lab, I just want to know, or like have a recording of what Brian Shaw says to Paul George after he has these crappy games to make him come back so well.
Frank Vogel's just a good story. So from New Jersey originally, he went to a school called Juniata for 3 years and transferred to Kentucky. He was basically a volunteer assistant at that point.
Juniata, can I get a guess at where Juniata is located?
It is in Pennsylvania. It's named after, I believe it was named after a river there.
Okay.
The Juniata River?
No, it's called the Bill Smith River. So it is named one of the principal tributaries of the Susquehanna. It's been around since 1876, and
the river or the school?
The school.
Okay.
Less than
the river just sprung up out of nowhere in 1876. There's a fissure in the land, and suddenly the Juniata River.
Can anyone not looking at their roster right now even wager a guess at who their coach is?
It's a new guy again. They hired a new coach. I know that, but I have no idea what his name is.
Is it Jorger?
No, you can only coach one team at a time.
He's probably got time considering the two teams involved here. Steve Clifford, the big red coach. Yeah.
Red coach. Who was the guy that Yinkadare? Was that the guy that had played like an entire season and had like 0 assists or something like that?
I don't know.
We'll have to look this up.
That can be your new fun.
Yeah. Podcast Army, do some Googling for us. And
Podcast Army.
I do want to run a pool. I want to do assists per game for Mahimni and Hansborough.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Yinkadare Cup update.
Jan and Tyler's race for the Yinkadare Cup.
Jan and Tyler's race for the Yinkadare Cup.
I feel like he's drinking Earl Grey as that's happening. But with a whiskey back.
Just a quick recap. Yinkadare played in the league for 4 years and had 4 assists. So he went 2 seasons without an assist.
Jan Mahimni and Tyler Hansborough have been playing for the imaginary Undebeatables Yinkadare Cup.
I've got a joke that goes along with the Yinkadare Cup.
Okay.
What's the difference between Jan Mahimni and time?
I don't know.
Time passes.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
That's about 1,000 times better than I thought it would be.
Tyler Hansborough, harnessing his inner LeBron James, had 9 assists in the month of March to Jan Mahimny's 2.
Triple-double machine.
While we're all home in Indy together, I think we need to design and put together the cup so that we can send it to Jan in an unmarked package. I'm sure he'll put that proudly in his locker.
Well, congrats, Jan, on your win.
Does he still get to go head-to-head with Tyler, even though Tyler's no longer on?
Oh, good. Yeah, how's Tyler doing?
He's averaging 0.3 assists per game.
Oh, wow. So it's tied up, right?
Yeah. I guess we should keep this between Tyler and Jan then. The only real competition.
Good to see Tyler. He's a very consistent player. He's a rhythm assister.
You know what you're going to get.
That's your Yinkadari Cup update.
You are welcome, listeners.
Standing tall at 7 feet, weighing in at a bruising 275 pounds. Recent addition to the 4-time reigning champions of the Belarus Premier League, BC Smoky Minsk, your former Pacer, and honorary Undebeatable, the White Tower, John Edwards.
So I actually don't have a John Edwards update. That's just my favorite drop. But he played in the D League for a couple years, and then he's been bouncing around between the D League and Schmo teams in Europe, and now he is currently playing for BC Smoky Minsk, which is the best team apparently in the Belarusian Basketball Premier League.
That is far and away my favorite Belarusian team.
Yeah, so he's rocking in Belarus now, and I wish the best to him. I miss him, and I hope we've got a spot at the end of the bench for him if he ever wants to come back.
He played 25 games for us, played 139 minutes, averaged 1.2 points per game, and not a rebound. So, if you'll recall, after the brawl, everyone but 6 people were suspended for the brawl, John Edwards being one of them. It was a game against Orlando. John Edwards, despite the fact that there were only 6 available people, got 15 minutes of playing time.
But I actually did some in-depth research for us. Smoky Minsk, how the mighty have fallen. This year, they are 0-12.
Clearly, John's not getting his minutes.
I also did have just a random fact here. There are 4 dudes on Smoky Minsk named Alexander.
and none of them have an E in their name, right?
They don't. No, they don't. None of them do. Seriously. Yeah, they don't have. It's ALIAKSANDR. I don't know if that's a word. And then they also have 2 dudes named Alexi. So it's like Alexander. Is that girls? Like, I don't know. Do they have girls on Smoky Minsk? Alexi? So 4 Alexanders and 2 Alexskis.
And 1 John. And 1 John.
This has got to be the greatest locker room of all time. Like, I don't know. Like, you say,
Alexander, you suck.
Give up the rock, Alexander.
Exactly. And nobody knows what to do.
This is why cohesiveness is suffering. Because on the court, the communication is just terrible.
And that may be the problem. That's why they dropped from champions to 0.
They're 0-12.
0-12.
In the Belarusian League.
Next winter, we'll meet in Minsk for a Belarusian basketball game. It's
It is Joey's favorite
this time
player.
of year. Yeah.
Do you, how much would that blow his mind if a bunch of people showed up wearing Pacers gear?
Wearing his jersey.
Right. You'd have
like
to
this
get
plan.
it. I think you may have to get it custom made at this point. I don't think he's at the gift shop. I don't think they have his jersey there.
Can I get like
find
the
everything
Pacers
online.
in Cyrillic? That's great.
This is a call out to Podcast Nation. If anyone speaks Russian and would like to sort of decrypt the Belarus Premier League webpage for me, that would be fantastic. But here's what I can gather.
From your limited knowledge of the Cyrillic alphabet?
It says that John Edwards has since left the team, which is very sad. So we may have to retire our drop.
Did the white towel throw in the white towel?
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, he's not been with the team for a few months.
Yeah. Well, what we should do is like what Tom Haverford did on Parks and Rec at Entertainment 720. Just hire John Edwards to shoot baskets for us in the Undebeatables office.
We actually may be able to afford him.
Yeah. I think if we just provide him with food, he would.
It's got to be nice to come home after living in Belarus. I don't want to lose all our Belarus fans, but
maybe you shouldn't have said that then.
Well, no, they're probably not listening to us. They probably don't have internet. I think I'm not.
Just digging the holes.
Human rights groups have categorized Belarus in the not free category of international countries. So apparently, they're fairly oppressed over there. The peoples. The Belarusian peoples, Belarusian. Someone Russian, please call me and let me know what's going on.
Well, on that note,
only beaten at the bottom by the Portland Trailblazers, which scored.
Sorry.
Standing tall.
Standing tall.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's the end of the season, and we wanted to just go back and talk about some of our favorite moments from this year. What do you guys got?
This isn't really a single moment, but I was really proud of the Pacers team sweeping a Western Conference road trip for the first time since, I think it was 2004. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Probably the high watermark of the season for us in terms of just playing great basketball. It's just special. It's hard to win those games. Any single one of them, to get four of them, it was huge, and I was really proud of the Pacers for that. It was fun to be a fan that week.
Yeah, so my favorite Pacer moment was sort of, I think, indicative of what is great about this team, the sort of chemistry that these guys have, and that was in the Detroit game. It was at Detroit, I think, in late February, and Danny Granger had come back for a small spell, and when he made his first shot in the third quarter, it sort of capped off a big run, and Pistons had to call a timeout, and the entire bench and team just exploded with joy around Danny Granger. It was just a really great moment. Made you happy to cheer for those guys.
Yeah, that was fun to see.
I think for me, this year, it's not like anything, not one little thing in particular, but it's just been fun this whole season, just going to the games, and I got to meet Clark Kellogg and chat with him this year. I met Mark Boyle, and that was just really fun. Just seeing a good quality, Pacer team right now is just fun. The going to the games is very enjoyable. They've got the G2 zone and the Area 55 and the drum line, and for the most part, it's just fun to go.
And for you too, I mean, we had that long home win streak, which is probably my second favorite thing that happened this season, right? I mean, that was just an unbelievable tear we were on, and I'm jealous of you that you got to be in the building for all.
I'd recommend anyone to do that if you live in there.
So quit my job and move to Indiana.
Yeah, there you go.
I think Colson's already checked out.
It's like staring out the window. Like it's like you want to go play with your friends or something.
You look like the Pacers in the fourth quarter.
It's like a bored kid in math class.
Too smart for this
shit. You know what's really good radio?
What's that?
A staring contest.
When you start losing that momentum because you can't run your offense, maybe go ahead and put your quarterback back in, even if he's in foul trouble, because I really felt like that the momentum changed when Augustine came in, and our offense just stagnated.
That analysis brought to you by Mixed Metaphors.
One last note before we get to the break here. So the Pacers are now 32-7. They're first in the Central Division by only 13 games over Chicago.
Chicago's breathing down our neck.
And we're also first in the East by 3.5 games over Miami. Been slumping a little bit lately, but
are we first anywhere else?
The National Basketball Association is one of the other places.
Chris Paul is that good of a point guard.
Playing at an MVP level.
Playing MVP level. One of arguably 3 guys in the league who's better than Paul George.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Arguably.
Just arguably. Certainly not set in stone.
And we're going to hash that out right now.
That's right. In the ring of death.
You know what's really weird about this hotel room is they have a ring of death.
I know.
Did you ask for that specifically, or is
So
that
when I
come
did
with
a
all
hotel search, I clicked the box for
Yeah.
a ring of death.
Okay.
That was like my number one requisite.
It's extra, but it's worth it.
Makes it stay cheaper because you only leave with 3 people. So the second night,
Right.
Costco stuff.
Every night you lose.
But
I'm going to miss you, Colson.
pacifists do not do well in the ring of death.
She said I sounded like a gay gnome trapped in a tin can. So I don't know what that means, but it makes me feel better. It's kind of, so I hope it makes Pacer Nation feel better after that first half.
We gotta, there's a gay gnome setting on GarageBand. I think you need to turn that off.
That's what the problem is then. Yeah, I'll have to fix that.
On that note, I think it's time for a break. The train is off the track. It's halftime, brother.
Yeah, it is. Turn out the light. Wait, no, not yet.
Give a shout out before we go to my man IN Pacers 1967. Give a shout out to my mom. I want to give a shout out to everybody's mom.
I would like, yeah.
You watch yourself, Joey. You watch yourself. Shout out to Scoot Dubs.
Oh yeah,
for providing the halftime music. Love it.
Yeah,
Fantastic tracks.
You know, I've known that kid since since he's been in high school, and I didn't know he was. Didn't know he had that fire in him. Man, he's killing it.
Does he have enough tracks to cover our the 100 episodes we're going to do on this?
I think he's got if you check his SoundCloud page, I think he's got 20 plus, and then I think he said that he's got a new album dropping relatively soon, which we should probably pimp hard.
Yeah, we'll pimp the hell out of that.
You can vote for Scoot Dubs for Best MC of the Year. We'll get the link up there. I think it's a pretty clear pick that it's him, for sure.
Clearly.
Scoot Dubs.
But let's listen to some Scoot Dubs and relax the day away.
Nice.
Shout out to Scoot Dubs.
Nefarious! We'll be back.
Scoot Dubs.
Scoot Dubs.
Scoot Dubs. Shout out.
2, 1. When I'm all bottled up and about ready to burst, I put ammo in these words and give birth to verse to let the sky rain pain. 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 This be the 40,000 decibels ringing in your ears. 1.21 gigawatts. I'll make your future fears clear. Playing ring around the rosy party girl like Parker Posey. Think you all bad and lit the wrong end of your stogie? I put my nose to the grind, so the only thing I'm sweating at this moment in time is how to take the power back and liberating the minds of the masses. No longer earn slave wage, own the soul rights to the masters. Tear a tongue, put the verbal boom in the blasters. Like click clack, vocal flipping potent disasters. Nice fucking look, the soundscape is mad classic. Crooks is half shook and falling off their own axis. Give cost to the cosmos, you're lost with both eyes closed. Guiding light right, your whole act Daniel Cosgrove. My talented talents, fly the throats to choke. And goodnight the enemies who's just lost their last hope. When I'm all bottled up and about ready to burst, I put ammo in these words and give birth to verse to let the sky rain pain. 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 When I'm all bottled up and about ready to burst, I put ammo in these words and give birth to verse to let the sky rain pain. 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 Your time is near at hand.
So we're in San Antonio at the
Sayonara. On the Riverwalk.
Anybody got a translation on that? What is that? Duck. Duck? Goose.
I get it.
What about our Pacer listeners that don't live in Indiana?
You can read it online.
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
Okay.
But great article.
Wait.
What is this magazine has an online presence?
What?
You can read it online.
I think it was the Nouveau. Does it have a website?
It's nouveau.net.
Sorry, Nouveau listeners.
Anywho. And I was just happy to see the Pacers getting some love from the media. You know, we talked about the Star, not really talking about as much as we thought they should be talking about, particularly with somebody quality to cover them.
We had 2 front page articles today.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
I wouldn't know. I don't read the paper, but
yeah. You read the Nouveau though.
No, I didn't. My wife
read it to you.
She grabbed it for me. She stays culturally.
I never learned to read.
She stays culturally relevant because so I don't have to.
Right.
So that you can continue to be culturally irrelevant.
Exactly.
That's why you got married, right?
Moving on.
Well, no, I want to hear that. Would ruin the story for me?
No.
What happened in the article?
No, you gotta go read it now.
No, tell me what happened. Tell the listeners what happened.
I think you should just go read it.
It's Professor Green with a monkey wrench in the living room.
It's a good article.
Monkey wrench.
In the study? Never mind.
I guess I don't know that much about this type of injury or what the prognosis looks like in, rehabbing it.
You're not familiar with jumper's knee, Jim?
I'm shockingly not. I do a lot of. I'm familiar with sitting knee.
What I would like to suggest to the Pacer Nation, though, save yourself $1,300 on the knee thing, on the JB intensive trainer, and just sit more.
But then you'll get sitter's knee.
That's true. Joey's still dealing with that.
Yeah. I get the sitter's hammy today.
It's a sitter's hammy.
You're getting paid a lot of money, and you're either on this team or you're not. You're either with us or you're against us. Let's circle the wagons and get back on board. That was a lot of weird metaphors. But,
some of them may have been appropriate.
We're getting back on board after the wagons are circled.
One in the hand's worth 2 in the bush.
I don't know. But yeah, you do that privately, not to the media.
Yeah, saddle up, cowboy.
We've changed our basketball philosophy a little bit.
How so?
Well, there was an interview with Frank Vogel.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about the smash ball, that smash mouth mentality. That's something that he's preached from the moment he became a coach. But he says we've fundamentally shifted our philosophy on basketball. We're not a no layups team anymore. We're interested in keeping teams off the free throw line, defending with length, defending without fouling. He says we've totally embraced the new NBA math.
Okay.
So I don't know if that bears out. I still feel like we're tough as shit. I still feel like we're not somebody you screw with. But in his mind, we're now a smash math team.
I think I've got my fun fact of the week, and John probably has a jingle for that.
I have a crummy jingle for that. 1 second.
I hope you hate high fidelity sounds.
Here we go.
Bring on the lo-fi.
Yeah.
Joey's penetrating in-depth stat of the week.
I'm not going to even ask where that came from.
That's it. Is it still going, or is that it? Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So the only problem is that was a adding machine there at the beginning. We're gonna have to.
There's kind of an awkward pause after Joey penetrating. It's very, very strange.
Well, that's what I liked about it, because Joey said he doesn't like stats, so I figured it would be definitely a very in-depth penetrating stat. So,
well, that works out because this is actually not a stat.
Perfect. Hey, it's
better be
free
in
flow.
depth and penetrating.
It is in depth.
A point about the New Orleans just got their logo and name approved. The New Orleans Pelicans.
You just scooped Joey's other fun fact. That's awesome.
Well, guys, it's been great.
Glad you went to all this effort to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Hong Kong.
Why don't you give us that fun fact? Here, Joe, let me give you the crappy jingle for that. 1 second. Here we go.
Joey's penetrating in-depth stat of the week.
So we decided to update that stat, update the drops because the adding machine was a little outdated. So I had a computer process. Oh, sorry.
Is that what a computer sounds like?
That's a computer processing. That's what that is.
Well, we got a stat of the week, as I often do. Weekly, some might say.
That the Pacers have a 24-year streak of having a winning record at home, which is the longest in the NBA, which I think is pretty damn impressive.
24 years?
24 years of having a winning record at home.
How spoiled are we?
Seriously. This week is the fact that on February 28th, 1998, the Pacers set the NBA mark of doubling the Trailblazers' score, which is the only time it's happened in NBA history. The score was 124-59. And the reason I bring it up is because that was sort of my personal goal as I was watching the Detroit game. That was my personal goal for something I had essentially no effect on. And I failed. I failed at that.
Way to let us down, Joe.
Yeah.
So Roy Hibbert has blocked 11.7% of 2-point field goal attempts while on the floor. So nearly 12% of 2-point field goals attempted against the Pacers, he blocks those.
Yeah.
That's just gone from your... Those are shots that can't go in because he has them in his possession. Or they're in the front row, or they're off somebody's face.
Which happens.
In some cases.
My stat of the week this week is... I think this is the largest number we've had as a stat.
Maybe.
The number is 4882. It's the number of miles. It's a round trip, right?
No,
that's one way.
Yeah.
One way. Yeah. It's the number of miles that the Undebeatables have traveled to get here.
For UndebeatCon.
For UndebeatCon 2K13. This week, my stat of the week is a man.
What?
His name is Eric Torpy. He's from Oklahoma. In October 2005, he was being sentenced to prison for 30 years. I don't know what you would do when faced with this, but I know what Eric Torpy did. He asked for his sentence to be increased to 33 years. Why?
Why?
Because he's a big damn Larry Bird fan.
Larry Legend.
He wanted to have his sentence match Larry the Legend's jersey number. The judge allowed it, which doesn't make any sense to me. But here we are. So he's the biggest damn Bird fan apparently of all time, and
he's the biggest Bird fan until somebody comes along and is sentenced to 20 years, and they say no,
right,
make it 30.
Right. 6 months? I don't think so. Yeah, the stat of the week is the plus minus for Indiana in this series against the Miami Heats. So the starting lineup for the Pacers is plus 49 in this series. That's the 5 starters. And all other Indiana lineups, any other variation contained thereof, is negative 54. So if you take any of the starters out of the game, they're losing points immediately.
So our bench is awesome? I'm good at understanding statistics.
My stat of the week this week is the number of times we've had the stat of the week before the break.
Okay, what's the number?
The number is 1, and it's right now.
That's the stat of the week. Never happened before.
No.
And perhaps never to be repeated.
I don't know. That went pretty well.
Yeah. Had a good time. But I guess while I'm doing stats of the week,
Joey, stat of the week.
I want to throw out the fact that Tamika Catchings is the first person who's ever recorded a quintuple double. She did it in high school. It's been done twice ever, and both by women high school players. But in 1997 at Duncanville High School, she scored 25 points, 18 boards, 11 assists, 10 steals, and 10 blocks.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, that did happen. Look it up.
She's pretty. I'm telling you, she's pretty good. I've said this.
No, she's a baller, but like a quintuple double?
Quintuple.
That's better than the average day at the office.
I've never ever heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Like twice ever, and the
other person doesn't matter because they don't play for the Fever.
So right now, Roy Hibbert, center, Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
You may have seen him. Wears a double nickel. What they say.
55.
He has as many or more blocks than 19 NBA basketball teams.
Then whole teams?
The teams.
So that's probably pretty good then, huh?
He has become the second leader on the team, and that's so important for us.
So he dropped 29 and 10. Actually didn't have any blocked shots, but still was a presence around the rim, I felt like.
Which doesn't seem right at all.
Yeah.
I mean...
But if you think about it, he's such a presence that they don't even try to challenge him at the rim.
Guys know better. I mean, guys get into the paint, and all they see is Carmelo Anthony getting baited at the rim, right? That's all they see.
Just flashbacks. You think Carmelo still wakes up in cold sweats thinking about that block shot?
Yeah.
He's officially a Blockosaurus.
Is he Blockosaurus Rex? Is he the king of the Blockosauruses?
Yes.
It's kind of funny. With Hibbert, you can tell whether or not it's going to be a good night or a bad night in the first 4 minutes of the game. Because they feed him like 4 of the first 6 possessions like every game. Yeah. And if he makes 2 of those shots, then he's going to have a really nice night.
It's just a thermometer, right?
Totally. And then if he doesn't, if he goes 0 for 4, then it's going to be like, well, all right, he might get to 10 or 12. Yeah.
Paul George's eyes light up.
Yeah. Okay, so Dennis Scott is saying, you've done these things, your team is winning, what's next for Paul George? And Paul George says, I want to be great. Not just an all-star, I want to be a Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
I want to be remembered.
Nice.
At the end of the day, I want the Pacers to be able to say, he gave us his all.
Wow.
That's nice.
Is that not nice?
So he's locked up, Paul George is locked up for how long?
Until he's 29. So he basically is going to be with the Pacers under contract for the next 6 years because he still has to finish out his rookie deal, and then he's got a 5-year contract. So he is the face of the franchise for the foreseeable future.
Okay. 5 years.
Well, 6 years.
6 years. Okay.
6 years.
I can't see any farther.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Only a few times in history, NBA history, have teams started out undefeated for this long, right? So the Pacers are 9-0. And in each of those 9 games, Paul George has scored 20 or more points. And he now joins 2 other players, Wilt Chamberlain and Dave Bing, who have done the same thing.
Shout out.
Shout out to Detroit.
Detroit Mayor shout out.
It was very specific.
Yeah. But also,
we know you're listening, Bing.
We could do that again in 4 years, and it'd be to a different person. But yeah, I just think it's cool that he's doing historically significant things,
He is awesome.
Well said.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Yeah. And they're like, who's that guy? I'm like, oh, well, actually, he went to Broad Ripple High School, and he went to IUPUI. That's George Hill. They're like, ooh, that's interesting. And,
yeah.
And I tell them, it's like, Broad Ripple High School is not a great school. There's nothing good has come out of there, but IUPUI.
Got a Broad Ripple slam.
But this night belonged to George Hill. Georgie Porgy, Pudding and Pie, put up a career-high 37 points, including a thrilling second-chance three-pointer to force overtime and 3 clutch free throws to ice the game.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie!
You've been sitting on that for like 6 months.
My favorite moment from George Hill's career night was the very end of the game. They're fouling intentionally. Portland's fouling intentionally, and Hill's going to the free throw line to ice the game. And he misses his first free throw, and he screams, "Backpacks!" Yeah, so he's getting himself motivated to hit the next one by realizing every time he misses a shot, it's a backpack that's not going to the kids. I loved it.
So it's not the team victory that gets him going. It's the school supplies for the kids.
Pudding and pie. That's ridiculous.
That our offense is run much smoother. Some of that is Vogel just game planning really well, but some of it is George Hill just being an effective general and, getting the ball to the right guy. He's making good reads.
The Pacers' offense is different than most offenses.
Very much.
That are initiated by a single player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Pacers, you'll see, probably even number of times George Hill will bring the ball up, or Lance, or Paul George, right?
And then they might immediately pass it to David West in the high post.
Mm-hmm. Right, and let him run the offense from out there, right?
I don't think it's a secret. Is my favorite Pacer. 6'9", 250, 33 years old, from the illustrious Xavier University.
XU.
Shout out.
David West.
Wow, I had no idea you guys went to Xavier.
Yeah.
It's shocking to me.
Yes. So yeah, we went to Xavier with Mr. West. He is the enforcer of the Pacers. He's the Harper of the Pacers.
Is he the X Factor?
He is the X Factor. He's the Y Factor. The Z Factor. It's a complicated equation. Winning is the result, my friend.
Multivariable. I love it.
David West led the team in PER and collective will. Shoots 50% from the floor, which is great, and complements our other starter Hibbert in the front court very well. He can shoot, he can pass, he can
do it all, my friend.
Multivariable.
He went to Xavier. It's a liberal arts school. He learned how to do everything.
Right. Yeah, he works with George Hill on those high pick and rolls, which is center stone of their offense, really. Yeah, he's just built like a brick shit house.
Yep.
He's a beast.
He's a man's man.
Well, and he's great. So this is David's, 11th year in the league. He spent the first 8 years with the New Orleans. Well, they were the Hornets at the time. Now the Pelicans. And he's really carved himself out as like one of these classic big man power forward guys.
He's an old schooler
that doesn't really jump over. He doesn't play above the rim, but he knows how to get his shot. He knows how to carve out space. He knows how to lead a team. He was clearly the leader in that locker room last year. The guy that everybody turned to for guidance and direction, and did a great job of it. And he eats babies.
So and of course he eats babies.
He does this bump and fade on the block, and he always says "and one" afterwards.
Every time.
He gets fouled every single possession.
Yes.
That's correct.
Every time.
Fun fact about David West. Plays the tuba.
Plays the tuba.
You did not know that.
You remember the playoffs against Miami last year. Was it LeBron? You were asking about Lance Stevenson. He said, "Who?" Now, not that he's.
That's no longer a correct answer. You have to actually look at the scouting report now.
He's the starting shooting guard for the Indiana Pacers.
So we want to talk about Mr. Lance Stevenson.
Born ready.
What do you?
Very born ready.
Well, Born Ready is his nickname from when he was a kid. What's your new nickname for him, Joe?
I call him Lancey Pants.
Yes.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
I'm sure he does. He's never told me not to call him that.
Wait till after the pod.
Yeah. He's in his car outside the house.
What I love about him is irrational confidence. And he doesn't really have a grasp of reality necessarily, but that's what makes him do special things, you know?
The big news of the night, Lance Stevenson picks up his first triple-double in his career. Got 13 points, 11 boards, and 12 assists.
Lancey Pants, shout out.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch. The the whole team and the whole arena were really excited for Lance. And Paul George hit the shot to give him the 10th assist, and he celebrated.
Wasn't that special?
It was like Paul celebrated with him. Like Paul was as excited as if he had gotten his own triple double.
And he was like he really wanted that shot to go in. He was like,
right.
It's not quite. Yes.
He didn't really want it to go. He was never going to miss that shot. He came off that curl, and that's my favorite moment so far of the early season, I think.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Danny Granger is your bench player for the rest of the season. I don't think that you try and make him anything else. You want him back for the playoffs, you absolutely do, but he is a bench player, period. I agree that he's on the block. My personal thinking on this, though, is that because he's such a question mark coming off the old jumper's knee injury, we're really not going to get anything in return for him until somebody sees him play professional basketball again.
Whoa. Yeah.
So I think that trade happens. I just think it happens later.
So on that note, Joey, how is your sitter's knee doing? Are you getting any?
It's creeped up into my butt too, in my back.
Lots of compensatory injuries. Yeah, that'll happen.
There was an update before saying that he wasn't. He was medically cleared to play, but he wasn't. He didn't have the rhythm.
Right. No, his timing was not.
His timing's no good. So apparently his comeback is impending.
Well, I mean, the thing is it? We don't know.
No, I don't know.
I mean, we are here on the Undebeatables known for our crack reporting, but I'd like a little wild speculation.
They keep releasing these videos of him making 15 straight three-pointers, and while at the same time, Frank Vogel is saying, no, he's a long ways away. And Larry Bird is saying, no, he's ridiculously rusty. I can't see him playing basketball in the near future. Something smells funky
here. Something's definitely weird. But
well, if you take a look at those videos, you'll notice the lighting isn't quite right. I think it's all CG.
It's all CG.
Shadows going in different directions.
Right. Just like the moon landing, something's not right here. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Sure.
By sitting here and drinking and waiting.
That's right. And then reporting to you after it happens.
Yeah.
Unless he's so rusty that they're afraid he's going to cost them games.
Is he worse than Zool right now?
Right. There is no Dana, only Zool. Yeah, so to my mind, what it smells of is that there's a trade in the works somehow. So we should tell you guys that he did get traded.
Yes.
So in a last-minute deal on the trade deadline on Thursday, Larry Bird traded Danny Granger to the Philadelphia 76ers for Evan Turner and Lavoy Allen. I think this was a brilliant move by Bird. And I love Danny. Danny's been obviously an amazing mentor to the young kids on these teams. He has been nothing but professional in watching Paul George ascend to greatness and take his starting position over the last 2 years.
We're going to miss you, Danny.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah, we will miss you.
Good luck to you.
In a move of wise decision-making, I think that the Pacers brass took my advice and decided to sign C.J. Watson.
They are definitely listening to the pod.
Yes, they were dialed into that episode.
So they signed C.J. Watson, point guard, played last year for the Brooklyn Nets. Harper, thoughts on this move?
I like it. I mean, anything that we're doing right now is a step off Augustine, who we rightfully let walk.
I learned this recently. There was a player 2 years ago, averaged 18.7 points a game on 56% shooting, averaged 11.8 rebounds, and nearly 2 blocks a game.
This guy sounds good.
Yeah, this seems pretty solid, right? So apparently he was recently signed for a mere $1 million for a year, reportedly. His name is Andrew Bynum. And he's on the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, he is.
Listen to all that happiness.
It's For me, I've got a lot of feelings about this.
Feelings. So many feelings.
Nothing more than feelings.
What are your feelings, Joey?
Well, I'm excited and I'm nervous.
While I don't trust Andrew Bynum any farther than I can throw him, and he's 3 times my size, I do trust Larry Bird.
My last thing to say about this is prove me wrong, Bynum.
So there was this amazing interview with Tyler Hansbrough where they're asking sort of, I guess, the players what they would be if they weren't an NBA player. And so Tyler's like, I think I'd be a farmer. I'd be a farmer. And Brooke goes, okay, cool, that's cool. What kind of farmer would you be? What would you farm or what would you grow? And then Tyler just starts laughing maniacally. He's like, I'd farm bulls. Yeah. That was it. That was the end of the interview. I don't know why it was so funny, but it just sounds like a crazy man. He's like, yeah, I got in there. I was just, grabbing boards and, doing my thing. And, yeah, it's great.
That's dead on.
Yeah, that was a really good Hansbrough impression, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was just a sound clip. Well done, JT.
A man of 1,000 voices.
Jan Mahinmi has an awesome block in which he actually, amazingly, on ESPN, they picked this up, the audio, him in a French accent going, "Get that shit out of here." In an exclusive on Undebeatables, I got to talk to Evan Turner, and he's, I just asked him how he felt about things. He said, "Well, I like the way that things are going here in Indianapolis. I like all my teammates. I think I'm gonna make some friends here. We're gonna do some dancing."
You got your jam box with you?
Yeah, I got my sweet jam box with them. Shoes on, do some dancing.
Evan Turner hates our show.
We like him.
Love you, Evan.
So funny.
We love you, Evan Turner.
You're the man. It's just Dick Pavetta. He couldn't, you don't get 48 minutes of consistency from that guy ever, so probably to be expected.
Do you think he could referee his way out of a paper bag?
He gets the same impression that Popovich used to get. That foul there?
What's the score?
Where are we?
He's impressively old.
He's a really old dude.
No, I think probably Prokhorov called him up. Mr. Kid, put down your flimsy Fisher-Price squeaky hammer. Grow a pair, or I will send you packing my sandwiches because I'm a billionaire.
No, you can just do it in the regular.
Thank you, Mr. Kid.
You can do it in your regular voice.
Who doesn't love a bounty castle?
Hitler.
So part of my thing is I'm not sure exactly what the gestation period for the alien inside your locker room that is Dwight Howard takes to explode out of your chest. But I'm going to put them somewhere in the 51 win range. Yeah.
I do want to state for the record, while I do think Chris Paul is a very, 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 very good player, I think he's a little bitch. I will say the Pistons fans that come to the Fieldhouse are jerks. All of them.
Right. To a man.
Every single one.
No exceptions.
We love you, Detroit. Good luck getting out of bankruptcy.
We don't love Detroit. What are you talking about?
Suck it, Milwaukee.
Losing all our Milwaukee fans. We love beer and cheese, Milwaukee. Your team sucks, though.
Yeah, they're just going to have to get so much production out of Luke Ridnour and OJ Mayo, and I don't know.
That's just not a recipe for success.
Do you think that's what they said in the war room when they were in the off season? They were like, you know what, this could work if we get a bunch of production out of. Oh, never mind.
Let's just pencil in 22 and 10 assists for Ridnour. That's an automatic.
You know what I'm going to do?
Let's go to the bar.
I'm going to key punch top this Miller Lite and pound it for those poor
the
bastards
city of Milwaukee.
Yeah, for those poor bastards in Milwaukee.
You're drinking the wrong beer for that.
You can drink. Oh, he's drinking their pain away. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
The Indianapolis Colts are back in the NFL action. So I've been told. And
we were allowed back.
yeah. They didn't leave with trucks in the middle of the night to go anywhere. So, suck it, Baltimore.
Fairly good D. But the big thing is we just did not let Petro and Johnson get on the O boards.
Yeah.
And that's so frustrating as a fan when you see these guys eat you up because A, they're barely NBA players, and they're beating up on our all-stars.
Right.
It's unbelievably frustrating. And tonight that did not happen.
And so again,
I think we just lost Ivan Johnson's mom as a listener. Sorry.
She like
I think Ivan Johnson was forged from the hills of Mordor.
Ivan
Doesn't actually have a mother. I got him.
Got a Mordor reference. And pod.
But what you've said here, I believe, is that you're going to take on Michael Jordan's greatest team of all time with the current starting Indiana Pacers. Is that correct?
Well, I will say that this year's Indiana Pacers have lost no games at all.
That is true.
Ever.
Right.
Ever.
So they are undebeatable.
Right.
In the defense of Michael Jordan's team, they have also never lost a game.
It's
touche.
Fair.
I love
So
it. So, hey, Michael Jordan, suck it. That's what I say. We got the Indiana Pacers.
Right.
You're about to get drone bombed right now. Michael Jordan he's got power, dude. Watch yourself.
You know what my girlfriend and Michael Jordan have in common?
No.
They don't listen to the show. So it's good. It's good. We're cool.
It's a good one.
That was much more tame than I thought.
I know. I was expecting the worst on that.
Right. So that's it. I think
I don't kiss Michael Jordan during sex.
Oh boy.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the U.S.'s new greatest ambassador, Dennis Rodman. He is bringing world peace, the worm, bringing Kim Jong-un into the fold.
Andre Iguodala totally choked down the stretch.
The best player was the Dragon, Goran Dragic, the Dragon.
Ta-da!
Kevin Durant and Russell. God, that freaking guy. Who named him?
That guy. It's like your kryptonite.
I know.
Odom was taken into custody at 3:54 a.m. local time by the California Highway Patrol, CHIPS, if you will. And the CHIP reported that Odom's car was observed traveling in a quote-unquote serpentine manner before being pulled off the freeway, which I find hilarious.
That's awesome. Got pulled over by Faulkner.
So if there's any 34-year-old man that can recover from an Achilles injury and become an NBA player in the world, it's probably me. But then next to me is probably Kobe.
His late-breaking news last night, Kobe Bryant tore the crap out of his Achilles tendon, which I'm sure he's in a ton of pain. I feel bad for the guy. I'm not a huge fan of his, or the Lakers, or the color purple for that matter. But
that was a good
that was
book
a really
and
good movie. I meant the literal color.
Kevin Garnett is great.
Things are not going well for them. But I did like World Peace's answer when they asked about the team struggles. He said, "We're not struggling. It's part of life. You know how life is. We had a bad hair day, you know?"
Robert Sacra thought that they had made a special rule for him.
What was his quote?
His quote was, "When I got my sixth foul, I was like, oh, dang." Then I got to come back in, so I thought it was something special. I didn't know what was going on. In his defense, neither did his coach. But
From now on, anytime he says something like that, when he's like, oh, dang, he should instead say, and then I was like, sacre bleu. He made a new rule for me. That should become his catchphrase.
It's the Sacre Bleu rule.
Roger Brown sounds like he's getting ready to enter the Hall of Fame. Any thoughts on this, guys?
Yeah, Roger Brown was a Pacer. Right there to start off with.
Okay, Jason?
just trying to help.
It's a solid analysis.
Tim Duncan, so he's now made the finals 14 years apart, and he has more playoff wins than 20 NBA franchises.
Real talk. Yeah, we're one of them.
That's crazy.
Oh, is that true?
Yep.
So I guess how many teams? There's 30 teams?
He's better than 2/3 of the league's.
And so... Oh, man.
Exactly.
Shaquille O'Neal's number was retired this past week by the Lakers. And interestingly, it's the first Lakers number to be retired in sort of the modern era, I guess. And apparently there was a big snafu, and when they raised the number to the rafters, they had actually printed his name and number on the front side of the jersey instead of the back side of the jersey. So now they have to redo it and take the other one down.
So how many people do you think looked at that before it went up that way? I mean, was it? It wasn't just the guy who sewed it and then like hung it on like a hook and like raised it up himself. Like this had to go through a lot of people. Then they were just like, "Oh yeah, it looks great. It looks fine."
I just feel like somebody spent a lot of time designing it. How does that guy not figure out what the front of the jersey is?
Right.
Well, they had some fashion designer that has never seen a basketball jersey before design it.
they outsource that to Italy or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
You think they could at least call Bellinelli and be like, "Is this good?" Colson, do you have any crappy jingles for us?
I do.
The mailbag.
Harper's Colts update.
This has to be one of the strangest stories we've ever reported. What the what?
Sorry, Joey, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, the headliner is Larry Bird is now back on the Pacers staff.
Yes, he is, and because he is, I've got a crappy jingle for that.
Poor Joey can't get a word in edgewise.
I said, Bird is back in town. Bird is back in town. I said, Bird is back in town. Bird is back in town.
That was Kyle singing there.
Shout out, Kyle. Well done.
I also have this if you'd like.
Well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody's talking about the bird. Well, a bird, bird's the word. Well, a bird.
Bird is the word.
Want to have the most fun you've ever had watching a game show?
And let's play Where That Player At.
Okay.
Gentlemen, we are playing Where That Player At.
Right here, man.
So, Joey, do you know where Andre Bargnani is going to play next year?
Bargnani.com is not giving me the answers I'm looking for.
Put down your cell phones. Did I mention that? Turn off your Google phones. All right, Joe. Joe, you're now in the lead. You're running away with this thing.
Get it, Joe?
10 points.
That means this quiz is not designed well.
It means we make Jason take the dregs of all the crap that we can't answer.
Right.
Jason, do you know where Gerald Green is going to play basketball next year? Former Pacer.
What former Pacer? What? Oh, shit.
I'm confused. He was under contract for multiple years as a Pacer.
I'm going to jump in and just let everybody know it's the Ukraine.
No. He actually got traded to another NBA team.
Really?
He
That is shocking.
got traded to go play with another set of brothers, the Morris twins, on the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns, that is correct. That trade, Gerald Green and little used Miles Plumlee, along with a first-round draft pick.
My LVP, by the way.
Your LVP, that is correct. I think Gerald Green was my LVP, too, so this is...
this is a good trade.
This is a good trade so far. Traded to the Phoenix Suns for Luis Alberto Scola.
Scola.
I'm going to guess that David Harrison is playing in Spain.
That's an excellent guess. Harper, do you know the answer to this? Because that's wrong.
I was hoping I would be allowed to pick a cunt.
I don't know what he's actually doing.
I thought you said he was doing finance.
I don't know. Did
you just make that up?
No, I actually don't know.
This is our update.
So the premise for this segment is Colson thought Joey said something that apparently he didn't.
Okay, well I've got another.
I think we actually have to. We may have to cut this out. Like I don't know. It's like through like a friend of a friend.
That's fine.
We should probably cut it out.
That'll be fine. Okay, so
we're all about hearsay on this podcast.
Yeah, we are. We don't. Who cares? Nobody listens to this shit. It's fine.
More drops. More geeky drops.
Rejoice, Pacer Nation. It is at long last time for the NBA playoffs. And your Pacers road to the NBA Finals.
Oh, thank you. So excited. Didn't know you were so proficient with the bells. Yeah, what you can't see on the podcast is that I'm wielding 12 bells right now. It's crazy. Yeah. Let's do our own awards. Who actually should win it?
You just send me a T-shirt.
That's fine. There'll be like the real awards. We do have one of our awards to hand out, I think. As I've called them, the Undebeatable Awards. We'll just make everybody else a winner.
You get a bumper sticker and a T-shirt.
We're saying was like, well, Joakim Noah plays in Chicago, so he's going to win. That's crap. We should have the real awards.
I'm sure that Mark Gasol would like nothing better than to receive an unmarked package from
I will scroll there. Please open this.
Yeah. And we should cut out letters from a magazine and
little white powder inside. Go over well.
All right, now we've got the Homeland Security listening again. So
you guys look great. Suits look good on you.
So, I mean, if we're just doing who we think we should win, it's going to be a Pacers friggin' sweep, right?
Yeah. Well, no. So what's our consensus on Coach of the Year? Is there any consensus here? Does Vogel have a puncher's chance in this one?
I've said all year that I think he should win Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
I think he should be, but I don't think he will. Right?
These are our awards, man. Then we will send Vogel an unmarked package. With an Undebeatables t-shirt and with puffy paint says Coach of the Year on the back.
He's going to wear that to practice every day. It's going to be awesome.
Number one coach.
This is going to be my biggest surprise pick.
I like it, man.
I think you've had too much loopies.
Bold predictions.
Say sort of what we think is going to happen. Prognosticate a bit.
So Pacer Nation can make fun of us later for being terrible at this.
Bold predictions.
Listen, I'm kind of a waffler, but it depends.
You've been thrown around in my mind. I think the goal for the season should be 55 or 60 wins. I don't know what the...
Wow.
I mean, I think that, so we do this at work where we do the annual review and you pick your threshold of what you want to accomplish the next year, the target, and then the maximum, which is what you really want to hit, but things are going to have to kind of break your way. And I think that those three numbers for the Pacers are 50 is the threshold win. That's what we expect to have a 50-win season. What we are aiming for, I think, is 55. Like, that's what our goal is, and then maximum would be 60. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that this team could win 60 games. We're that good. Like, there's a lot of good things about this team. So I would think going into the season, the goals are 60 wins and an NBA title. Those are the goals.
Sounds good to me. That sounds pretty spot on. I'm not going to argue with your logic.
The Pacers, they have 6 numbers retired, or 5 numbers, I guess, actually. George McGinnis with number 30, Reggie Miller, 31, Mel Daniels, 34, Roger Brown, 35, Bobby Slick Leonard with Colson's favorite number, 529, for his number of wins. And Mel Simon, the late Mel Simon, just gets his entity retired, I guess. He has no number.
So you're not allowed to name another owner?
Nobody is allowed to be named Mel Simon ever again.
Right. We can't. If we drafted a fantastic draft pick named Mel Simon, we're screwed. He'd have to change his
He has to change his name to Mel X.
But there were a couple interesting. There's a list on NBA.com of all of the retired jerseys for the entire league, and there were a couple interesting ones. One was Harper told me about was the Miami Heat retired 23 for Michael Jordan, and he never played for them. Which is kind of cool. I don't know. We want to find out if there was a ceremony or anything like that, but
that Jordan didn't attend.
Yeah.
We're going to have cookies and punch. Jordan,
that's not what you need.
We'd really like you to come by and say a few words. Yeah, I don't think that happened.
The most important thing about Slick Leonard's legacy is not the amazing thing he did in the NCAA or the great things he did as an NBA player or even the amazing things he did for the Indiana Pacers franchise. But as an announcer, bringing into the fold you and me and everyone on this podcast and creating new generations of Pacer fans. This guy is a legendary announcer, forgetting all of what he did as a player and a coach. I love this guy. He's awesome, and he should never be forgotten. So he deserves to have a spot in Naismith.
Well said.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Although I was disappointed he did not wear a salmon jacket to the induction ceremony.
In the Cleveland game, Pendergraft played the final minutes in place of Hibbert. He was doing a more effective job defending the pick and roll, and at the end of the game, when we won, Hibbert, instead of being kind of bitter that he'd lost his fourth quarter crunch time minutes, rushed the floor and knocked Pendergraft over. And it was such a joyous, wonderful moment that I scribbled down, I love this team. I mean, despite the fact that we're struggling, these are all really good guys that are all rooting for each other and pulling for each other. And that moment will stick with me.
But basically, since Jim O'Brien was out, and I think when Vogel took over, that's when I thought the team turned, and they've been much, much better since then. There's a lot to be excited about. You know, they've made the playoffs for 2 years in a row. They've played well in the playoffs, and I think because of that, now we have high expectations, and they have not disappointed so far this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a testament to this team and their faith in Vogel, and a testament to Vogel and his faith in himself, and sort of sticking with the plan of Smash Mouth basketball and sort of finding that defensive identity and really adhering to that. And obviously, it's paid wonderful dividends, you know?
I'm not happy being a good playoff team. I don't think that's who these kids are. I think our team has shown real flashes of brilliance.
Yes.
Holy crap. We have a legitimate chance to win the NBA title this year.
Yes. Yes, we do.
So, JT, you got games for next week?
Hells yeah, man. I got games for days. This week, we wrap up the Western Road Swing at the hated Los Angeles Lakers.
Boo!
On Tuesday night. Then we return to the friendly confines of Bonkers Life Fieldhouse. Hopefully, they'll be completing the sweep of the week that I am predicting. So 2 or 3 games at home this week. Sounds like a winning formula to me.
Sweep.
You calling your sweep?
I think that, yeah, it seems like we could win all those games.
but maybe time to copyright Undebeatables.
Yeah, we might need to do
Get a trademark on that.
Let's get on that.
We'll have legal look at that first thing Tuesday morning.
We do own the website though, right? So we're good.
We will by the time this airs.
Okay, good. Do we also?
So everybody
own
check out the website.
Yeah.
Do we own the Twitter handle, Joe?
We will by the time it airs.
Right.
But yeah, if we want to hit us up, a great place to do that is on Twitter. It's always in our pockets. You can talk to us there. Questions, answers. We have a Facebook page. Search for The Undebeatables. We are on theundebeatables.com.
Please like us on Facebook. We're getting a lot of likes. It's good.
We are.
It's because there's no dislike button. The website is theundebeatables.com. And we are on Stitcher. Search for The Pacers or The Undebeatables. We are there. You can review us on iTunes as well, which would help us be exposed to more fans. Even though I don't know that Colson should be exposed to any more fans.
Yeah,
but
quit exposing yourself.
if you want to support us, we've got a link to the Amazon. It's a referral link. Give us a little money if you're shopping on Amazon. Help support the show.
It's a victimless crime. Everybody wins if you do it. Everybody wins.
But you look good.
Thank you.
I think it's because you're wearing the official Undebeatables t-shirt.
That's right.
Which we have now. And we will be selling to our fans for a modest price.
Yeah, shortly, once we get our online selling.
As you can tell, John Colson is not in charge of selling.
There'll be some sort of web page where people could buy things through their Google phones. Is that right?
Exactly.
They look dope, though, I gotta say.
They look very nice.
We got merch.
We do have merch. They're beautiful American Apparel shirts. Sizes small through XL.
A mere 15 bones.
Yeah, 15 bones.
That's right.
And I might say that every year that we've had these, the Pacers have had an amazing year.
That's right.
Just saying.
Yeah, it's definitely the best show we've had in 6 days.
Well, and for our once and always coach, Bobby Slick Leonard, now in the Hall of Fame. Turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights. Turn out the lights.
The party's
We'll be back next week. Everyone will be in the same country for once, and we hope to have some improvements. By that I mean everyone will be awake and sober.
Oh, I thought you meant you got
No, that's not improving anything. More booze. More Hong Kong background noise. That's what I want. This shit is gold. It's gold, I tell you.
You're going to fix this in post, right, Joe?
Nope.